Okay, hello, one viewer on Twitch, two viewers on Twitch. Let's go. Okay, I don't know why this has moved my window over there. Let's pull up the YouTube window and close away whatever that was. Today I will be working with the YouTube API. Chom says I am the second one. Welcome, Chom. Welcome, second viewer. Today I am working with the YouTube API, and the reason is I want to know how many valid public watch hours did I have in the past week. The reason I want to know that is on YouTube Studio, it's easy to see what are my total watch hours in the past week. However, in my case, many of those are shorts views, and those shorts views don't count towards one of the requirements for being a monetized channel on YouTube. Therefore, I want to figure out how much watch time I had that is valid for that. So I'm going to start by reading guides and stuff on the YouTube API webpage. So you need a Google account. Yeah, okay. Create a project in the Google Developers Console. Is that the same thing as Google Cloud? I don't actually know. Make sure the YouTube Data API is one of the services that your application is registered to use. Let's see this Google Developers Console. Oh, but I'll need to use it under a different account. So let's just close this window. Oops, wrong button. We'll use my coding profile, that'll be okay. Close this window, bring over the YouTube API window. APIs and services, what is this website? Okay, console.cloud.google.com, that is what we're doing. And it looks like I already had a project created called Sub Notifications, which sounds similar to what I'm working on here. So let's just continue with that project. We enable APIs and services. YouTube Data API v3, that sounds right. Access YouTube data such as videos, playlists, and channels. Apparently it is enabled. Let's try an API Explorer. Maybe not. Let's see if there's a YouTube API Python web result search. Python quick start, here we go. Pip install dash upgrade Google API Python client. Get a virtual environment going. Which Python do I have by default? 3.11, that'll work. Oops. Pip install dash upgrade Google API Python client. Neat. I don't need to upgrade pip right now. Oops, wrong window. Google Auth, OAuth lib, and Google Auth HTTP lib, 2 libraries for user authentication. Sure. Set up your project credentials in the library panel. Search for the YouTube. Create or select a project in the API console. Complete the following tasks in the API console for your project in the library panel. Search for the YouTube API. Click into that listing for the API. Make sure the API is enabled for your project in the credentials panel. Okay, let's do multiple windows here. I want this automatically snap to where I want it to be. In the library panel. I feel like I've gone through this already, but okay. YouTube data API v3. API enabled. Cool. In the credentials panel, copy link address. I don't think it's going to show any credentials when I just visit the page. Create credentials. I'm going to go off screen for this. In API, you will use the API to make API requests that do not require user authorization. For example, you do not need user authorization to retrieve information about a public user channel, or create an OAuth 2.0 client ID. Set the application type to other. You need OAuth 2.0 credentials for requests that require user authorization. For example, you need user authorization to retrieve information about the currently authenticated user's YouTube channel. That's the one I want, because I want private analytics data about my channel. So OAuth, application type, other. Is there an other option? OAuth 2.0 client ID. There is not an other application, so we'll just say it's a web application. YouTube Analytics Client. I guess we go with this, create. Download JSON. And interestingly, the file name had some Probably the ID of the key was in the file name, but hopefully not the... Yeah. That's fair. Let's have some more tea. All right, open up my downloads folder over here. All right, that's not what I wanted to do. One second while I figure out what just happened. What did just happen? For some reason when I opened my downloads folder, it opened it in Firefox and on my shared screen, so that's like doubly. You're welcome. Okay, better kill that secret. Well, that's embarrassing. This stream is off to a great start. Oh, I should have opened the folder, not the actual file. Okay, that was my mistake. Well, I hope you enjoyed having access to my YouTube API OAuth client for like 3 seconds before, well, maybe 30 seconds before I figured out my mistake and deleted the client ID and everything. I feel silly. YouTube analytics report. Create this one. This time I'm not going to open the going to download the JSON, but not going to open it in a window that you can see this time, at least. Let's go iTerm. Open up this window. I'm going to make a directory here and dir.secret. Go back off screen and move the client secret JSON file to user/workspace/temp .secret. Okay. All right, now I know where the secret is and I know how to not put it on screen for you, so I think that's progress. Set up and run the sample. Use the API's Explorer widget in the side panel to obtain the sample code for retrieving information about the Google Developers YouTube channel. This request uses an API key to identify your application, and it does not require user authorization or any special permissions from the user running the sample. Open the documentation for the API's channels.list method. Make this bigger. On that page, the common use case section contains a table that explains several common ways that the method is used. The first listing in the table is for listing results by channel ID. Click the code sample for the first listing to open and populate the full screen API Explorer. List by channel ID. Which part am I looking for? I feel slow today. On that page, the common use cases. List by channel ID, that'll work. I guess we scroll over to, where's Python? Curl, JavaScript, Java, PHP, Python. There's a lot of boilerplate here. The left side of the full screen APIs Explorer shows the following. Let's move my mic down a little bit. Below the request parameter header, there's a list of parameters that the method supports. The part and the ID parameter value should be set. The ID parameter value UCX5X is the ID for the Google Developers YouTube channel. Below the parameters, there's a section called Credentials. The pull-down menu in that section should display the value API key. The API's Explorer uses demo credentials by default to make it easier to get started, but you'll use your own API key to run the sample locally. Copy the right side of the select Python tab, copy the code sample and save it in a file named example.py. Copy, and now we're going to go over here and go vim sample.py. Close that window down. Close all that. Did the code snippet work for you? Well, we're not there yet. In the sample you downloaded, find the your API key string and replace that with the API key that you created in step 1 of this quick start. So I'm gonna use .env to do this. There's no .env here, is there? Yeah, I can safely open a .env file. in Vim for now because it's going to be empty. Apparently they named it your API key, so I'll just do that. Now I'm going to go to a off-screen window to do this step. Copy the client secret there. Vim.en. Oops. Why is it not? Oh, because I'm not in the right folder. Okay. Solaris says, hello, what are you doing? Hello, Solaris. I am working with the YouTube API. First, I'm just doing a quick start to access the API, and then I'm going to find out my valid public watch hours for the past week. Because the YouTube Studio shows me my total watch hours, but many of those include shorts views, which don't count towards a certain requirement for channel monetization. So I'm finding my way around the YouTube API, and so far I've already managed to expose the credentials of my OAuth client, so that was fun. But I deleted that client right away before it was able to, before anyone would have been able to do anything with it. Right, I need to replace your API key with the... And let's remember how python.env works. Pip install python.env. That's good. And we do that, so Vim, what? Oh, it's sample, not sim. Vim sample.py, looking for your. Actually, first let's load.env. Then the next step is to, oops, I keep going the wrong way. Says, what are your application which uses environmentals, for example, from OAuth.environ or OAuth.getEnviron as if they came from the actual environment. So I think it's just let's remind myself how to use Python environment variables. Free code camp, sure. Talking. os.environ.get and the name of the thing. Wait a second. Oh, they want the client secrets file. Let's that's interesting. So maybe I'm not using .env after all. Go back to my hidden screen. You know what? I'll even obfuscate that file name. I'm feeling extra careful right now. Vim .env. Wait, what was it that I'm doing? Client secret file name. That's what I'm gonna call it. But then I can say let's make this f string dot secret slash client secret file name. Now, is this the time to run this code snippet? The sample should execute the request and print the response to standard out. And just before I run it, what's that response going to be? Print response request equals youtube.channels.list part equals snippet, content details, statistics. Response equals requested execute print response. Okay, yeah, I'm comfortable printing that. Python sample.py. Oh, I need to give the string to the os.environment.get. I don't need a variable named that. If I was using PyCharm, I wouldn't have made that mistake. I bet I forgot to load .env. Yep. That's interesting. Make this bigger, 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 bigger. What can I do with it? Vim sample.py. Credentials equals flow dot. What's happening? Maybe I forgot to write out this file and then, well, no, that doesn't make sense. Why is this not working? Installed app object has no attribute run console. I assume that's because I haven't sent my credentials in correctly. If in doubt, simplify. I'm gonna over. We are there already. Can we go off screen? And can expose the name of the JSON file because that doesn't give you the client secret. So let's do that. Yeah, it's okay. Then vim sample.py. On sample.py. Oh no, it's the same problem. So that wasn't the reason. That's annoying. It's over here. Was asking me, did the code work for you? No. Sorry about that. We'll look into it. I don't want to do that. Wait, it says in the sample you download, find the your API key string and replace that with the API key that you created in step 1 of this quick start. This documentation is not aligning with Did I skip a installation step? I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure I installed these. Let me just to be sure, let's install them again. Requirement already satisfied. Yeah, that makes sense. Python sample.py. Google the error. And Google answer above the versions of that library for the GitHub post blah blah blah. There may have been a version compatibility of Google API Python client library with other libraries like Google Auth. Just to make sure that the version of your Google Python API client supports the version you have installed to its dependency libraries. You can view the field change log of Google API Python client here. When was this asked? So it's a where is Google's answer? Expanding on George's answer above, the versions of the library from the GitHub post that work are these. So let's just put those in a requirements.txt. Pip install -r requirements.txt. And it says stuff is incompatible, so that's a problem. So pip thinks there's dependency problems, but let's just go ahead and try python sample.py. Please visit this URL to authorize this application. Not sure whether I want to show that, so I'll just compromise and cut it for now. Where's my mouse? There it is. Where is it? There it is. Says access blocked. This app's request is invalid. What? Oh, we can cancel this. The app sent an invalid request. Let's see if there's another code example here that works a little bit differently. These all want your client secret file. Hey, 1 minute ago, Mr. Tuxa Git followed. Thank you very much. Welcome. Sorry things are moving kind of slowly today. So I'm not ready to modify my code. Well, they said example.py, but then I saved it in sample.py. That obviously doesn't matter. Let's see if there's a... We have RTG Legend coming in with the first time chat. Hello, what's good? Well, what's bad is I can't get this Python YouTube API to work. What's good is I had some good tea this morning and I have a keyboard that I like. So yeah, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Let's see if someone else has a good example. Go away medium. I've got the API key in my credentials JSON file. That's fine. Using Conda. Even though the use of API is free, there's a restriction on its usage. It's creating called the API quota. Not allowing unfair access to greedy users. 10,000 units per day. The consumption is based on the methods you execute, and the result size does not matter. I'm not worried about this issue. API documentation overview. List method. Get me to the code. You know what? We can. I just realized I can use curl just to test it without the complexities of that Python seems to be introducing. So I'm gonna start by just running this, even though I know it's not gonna work because I haven't put my actual access token in. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go. Oops. Gonna have to go off screen for this one because I need the credential to be showing in the. I need to put the credential on the screen, so I can't show you that right now. you can look at this website. It gives an idea of what I'm doing. Let's try it slightly differently. No, still unauthenticated. Here looks like something that I could use. Okay, medium, what? Now what do I have on my, is this what I've copied now? .environ.get, and I want to call this your API key. Now I need to do the .env thing. OAuth is not imported. Okay, not .env. Oh my. Medium example.py. Python medium example.py. Missing required parameter. Missing required parameter part. What is part? For the solution of the videos.update API bars request. The part, but I'm not doing videos. Update. It defines the properties that the write operation will set as well as the properties that the API response will include. What? Following list contains part names that you can include in the parameter value. Let's just try content details. Vim sample, no. Vim medium example.py. Let's go down here. Part, oops, equals content details. I just say part equals part, comma, space, right quit, Python medium example.py. Okay, that's not the way to do it. But then now we're going to go back to this error. Okay, maybe we need a more recent YouTube example. Getting video details. Name your free chapter, no. Copy this. Vim sample 3.py. From Google Auth, okay, we import stuff. Import URL lib, import, why would we want pickle? I'm gonna be a little careful of that. Scopes, okay, that's fine. YouTube authentication. Let's copy this over and read it in Vim. Def YouTube authenticate, OAuth lib, insecure transport, that's fine. API service name equals YouTube, API version C3, client secrets file, credentials.json. Okay, let's make that be in there. copy.secret secret to credentials .json. Okay, we've got credentials.json in this directory. Creds equals none. The file token.pickle stores the user's access and refresh tokens and is created automatically when the authorization flow completes for the first time. If oauth.path.exist token.pickle with open.pickle creds equals. There are no valid creds or not creds.valid. If creds or creds files refresh token cards equal refresh else flow equals installed app flow from client secrets file scopes creds equals flow dot run local server port equals 0, and then we dump the token into the pickle. Okay, that's fair. Return build of API service name credentials authenticate to the YouTube API. YouTube equals YouTube authenticate. Okay, that seems reasonable. Now we have def get video ID by URL. Parse URL equals p.url parse p video ID p.parse query.get. If video ID return video ID exception, it wasn't able to parse video. So all we're doing is just we're not calling the API here. We're just pulling the ID out of a video URL. I guess we can do that. Here's part, so that's good. So def get video details. We have print video details. We're just printing a bunch of stuff from that. That's fair. But you can do f strings on multi-line strings? That's a game changer. I didn't think you could do that. Huh. Okay, now we're putting it all together. On sample3.py. Please visit URL. This URL to the app's request is invalid. You can't sign in because this app sent a. You can try later or contact the developer about this issue. Learn more about this error. If you are a developer of this app, see error details. You can't sign in to this app because it doesn't comply with Google's OAuth 2 policy. If you're the app developer, register the redirect URI in the Google Cloud Console. What? Redirect URI mismatch. Let's bring, I can bring this onto your screen. So how do I tell Google that I want to allow things from my computer? For my web application, I corrected my mistake by writing instead of http://localhost.authorize type http localhost/authorize. Maybe Fruit O coming in with the first time chat. How old is that Stack Overflow page? Probably pretty old. Gosh, it's 11 years old. Well, maybe, I think it might still be valid though. Let's see if the answers are any newer. Edited 2019. API Manager, authorized JavaScript origins. We can authorize JavaScript origins and authorized redirect URIs. Authorized redirect includes all localhost links by default. Any live version needs to include the full path, not just the domain. I don't know what's happening. Credentials. It's not going to show them on this screen, I don't think. Domain of URIs you add below will automatically add to your OAuth consent screen and as authorized domains. What if I just put in what they said in that? Must not contain a path or end with a slash. Wait. Is there a save button? Yeah. Now I'm being super impatient by running this immediately, but let's go. Okay, yeah, not surprising. Access block, the app's request is invalid. So it's probably a good time for a stream break since I'm just going to be waiting for this thing to... Here you can read the Google OAuth question while I don't know why this isn't all the way across. Here you can read this 11 years ago Stack Overflow question while I go on a stream break. It'll be fun. Okay, I've taken a little break. Let's see if that was enough to apply the change I made and give me access to this API. No, the request is still invalid. Google YouTube API setup Python troubleshooting. I already did the quick start Google. Fruit says, oh Fruito says, that's weird, I usually run it the third time and it works. Yeah, trying 3 times usually is enough, right? Why is this thing a little off center? That's worse. That's better. Okay. See, here's the first problem. It said, set the application type to other. There was no other option. So these directions are not helpful. You're using the question, you're using the official Google API Python client? Yeah, definitely. Let's just check the code to see. Which one am I on? Sample3.py. Oh, maybe I'm not. Let's try something else. List. This one's using the. This is code that came from Google, developers.google.com. Let's try this one. I think this one ended up into the same problem. And I tried swapping out the Python code. Oh, oops. I need to go to put it in credentials.py. That's the problem. I just put it in credentials.json. Python sample.py. And now it wants me to open that thing. Access blocked, the app's request is invalid. So I conclude that I have something misconfigured in my API setup in the Google Console, in the Google Cloud Console. Oh, but I didn't follow this instruction correctly. It says first it says create an API key, and then it says create an OAuth 2.0 client ID. I skipped this one because I thought I didn't care about retrieving public information, but the example that they're giving is retrieving public information, so okay. Create credentials, API key. Oh, darn it. Didn't think it would show it right away. See, I need to disable that API key now. Delete the API key that I just created. Yes, delete it. Okay, I can bring you back to the screen now. Wow, this is quite the stream today. Quite the stream. Oh, I see. I haven't been following instructions well enough. API's channel.list method. Common use cases. Below the reference, there is a request. Below the parameters, there is a section. There is the pull down menu in that section should display the value API key. What pull down menu? Oh, Fruit O asks, do you watch Kevin Fang on YouTube? Maybe time for a break. I have not watched Kevin Fang on YouTube, but maybe it is time for a break. Hold on, I want to see if this changes the Python code that they give me. No, it's still... still is saying that. Ofrudo asked, did you put the API key in your .env file? I did, but right now the Python code that I have, I'll show you, is not taking things from the from the .env file. So I don't remember if I have if I'm using .env. I'm not even using. Oh no, I am using .env, but it's taking it's getting the client secrets file is credentials.json. So and that's because this code from Google, this example code from Google, your secret client file.json, and I have some type of a secret in this your client secret file.json. I'll go another like 20 minutes and then I'll take a break and watch that YouTube guy. Maybe let's try again to do, well, but it said set the application type to other. OAuth client ID, web, Android, Chrome extension, iOS, TVs, desktop app, universal Windows platform. So right there, I can't do what they're telling me to do. Come on, Google. Shouldn't be this hard. You know what? Let's try this part. In the credentials section, the pull-down menu should select the option for Google OAuth 2.0. Common use cases. The code symbol for the third listing that you guys call the list method for my channel. part category ID on behalf of owner, show standard parameters. In the credentials section, pull down menu should select the option for Google Auth 2.0. Yeah, show scopes, read only. That sounds good to me. What if I uncheck the we're going to call this sample 4.py. Oops. Yeah, it's the same problem. Oh, the redirect URI in this can only be used by a client ID for a native application. It is not allowed for the web client type. You can create a client ID for a native application at. Okay, so I guess we're going to create a native application. Oh, where was I? In the credentials panel. So I need to create a new thing. OAuth client ID, application type. I guess I'll try a desktop app. We'll call it desktop client 1. Sure, why not? Download JSON. That's going to show you the name of the. That's going to show you the client ID, but not the secret. Except that the fuck. Oh man. So we gotta delete desktop client 1. At this point, I should have learned to just be off screen for these things. Create credentials, auth client ID, desktop app, desktop my app, create, download this JSON. Copy current home downloads that thing to credentials.json. And I'm on my screen going to look at credentials.json. We've got a client ID, we've got a project ID, we've got an auth URI, we've got a token URI. Then we got a client secret. Okay. Python sample 4.py. Maybe this will work. Learn more about this error. Oh, Frudo says maybe you're supposed to visit the URL and enter a code. Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. However, when I get to that code, it says access block sub notifications request is invalid. You can't sign in because sub notifications set an invalid request. You can try again later or contact the developer about this issue. Learn more about this error. If you are a developer of sub notifications, see error details. Error 400 invalid request. The out of brand flow has been blocked in order to keep users secure. Follow the out of brand flow migration guide developed in the developer docs below to migrate your app to an alternative method. Read related developer documentation. That's just documentation, so I can bring that back onto your screen. If you determine that your app is using the OBS flow on a desktop client, you should migrate to using the loopback. I'm going to close this, new window, YouTube, Python, YouTube, API, Python, quick start. Oh, right, this takes me back to the original problem I had. Set the application type to other. There's no option. Oh, Frudo says, well, good luck, man. Yeah, I know. I've got a few more minutes left on my timer, and then I'm going to take a break and check out that YouTube person. I'm going to bring the credentials panel over here, see if I try one of the other options. Create credentials, OAuth, client ID, Android, Chrome extension, iOS, TV, and the desktop universal. Desktop app seems like the only option for me. Well, you know what? Maybe I'm going to follow through with this thing where I tell them why it didn't work. Common use cases list my channel. Out of curiosity, execute. Meh, I'm not gonna go that way. Pop up closed by user, yeah, I know. What does this thing say? Did this? No, it did not. Let's say the instructions provided here say to say to create an OAuth and set the application to other. However, I don't see an other option when I create an OAuth 2.0 client ID. I'm getting errors like send. So just maybe I'll hear from them and maybe they'll improve their documentation. In the credentials panel, I'm going to take this off screen because I'm tired of exposing my credentials. What if I do another kind of application? Android. The web application didn't work. Android Chrome extension doesn't make sense. iOS doesn't make sense. The only one that seems to make sense is desktop app, but I've already tried that one. Where's my timer? I said I would stop when the timer rang, and that might be coming soon. 18 seconds. I have an uncanny ability to sense when timers are about to be done. Okay. I'm at least going to go on a break, and I may end the stream. We'll see. Yeah, I'm going to call it for this stream. It has not been a successful one. I'll be on my normal time, 5 p.m. tonight, with a open Python lesson. See you then.